Welcome to LT Vegan Living. My name is Gary, and today I'm going to show you how to make vanilla sugar cubes. Now these are silicone molds that you can easily purchase at Amazon.com. That's what I did. I got 2 of these in a row. I'm only using 1. And this is a chocolate mold that I got at Michael's, and it can be used for anything. It doesn't always only have to be chocolate. The difference about this one is this one cannot be microwaved or placed in the oven, and this one can. I have the oven set at 200 degrees for this mold, and I'm going to show you what this is all about. Your own sugar cubes. You go to a fancy restaurant and they have a beautiful setting and you see the beautiful vegan and non-vegan sugar cubes. And you always wonder, how do they do that? Because you don't find those in the store anymore. I mean, maybe that's a past thing, but it doesn't have to be. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make it. See you in a few minutes.
Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living, a whole food, plant-based lifestyle.
So, I've already made the sugar. You've seen the videos, and this is the sugar that was made with pure vanilla extract. What you need to do, I also put in here 2 tablespoons of filtered water. It barely shows on the bottom. When you mix your sugar in the water, it's going to melt. What you want to do is add it like wet sand. So when you're playing in the sandbox and it suddenly gets wet or something like that, that consistency of wet sand. So we're going to pour it in here, a little bit at a time, or all of it. And we're going to mix it. And you're going to keep applying water to get that wet sand feeling. You don't want to melt it. You just want to make sure your sugar has got all that moisture in there. And as soon as you're able to make things with it like this, you see, this little bit, that's what you want. We're going to use this one first. I'm going to take the spatula and I'm going to put it in the molds, the sugar in the molds. And right now I'm concentrating on 6 of them. Because I didn't make that much, I just made a cup. And these are much deeper molds than what I have than these small little ones over here. Now why the oven? You're not cooking for sugar, because if you cook the sugar, it's going to turn into liquid, and that's not your goal. You're making sugar cubes. You're going to leave it in the oven for 25 seconds. I mean, that's going to be really quick. You're not going to leave the kitchen, because if you do that, you're going to have a mess on your hands. What you're going to do, as soon as some of the moisture comes out, you're going to leave it on top of your metal tray with parchment paper on top, and you're going to leave it overnight. And in the morning, you're going to pull out these cubes, and you're going to have really cool looking sugar cubes that you can add to your coffee in the morning. So let's continue. Now when you do your molds, you want to make sure they're as flat as possible and that you don't have anything on the edges. It will just make it harder for you to pull them off. Alright, so I'm going to move the camera closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing. The oven is set at 200 degrees. It is basically the lowest heat I can really put in my oven. The molds are good to 300 degrees. Don't need to really do that. 200 degrees is sufficient. Now we're going to put the timer. We're going to put these in, rushed over to get the timer done. 25 seconds is going to go like a flash. We're going to pull this out and we're going to sit it on the counter. And we count down. And you pull it back out. It's by the red toaster. You say to yourself, you promised us sugar cubes, not decorative tubes, sugar cubes. So I've already made the batch. I'm going to show you how I do it, and I'm going to bring the camera to show it closer. Alright, so 2 days later I decided to start pulling the sugar cubes out, and you can see that some of them aren't working. But then again, some are. So then what the next thing you need to do is, as you're pulling them out, you put them on a sheet and you wait another day before you put them out for the general public and your family. Because what happened is the edges of the mold are wet. So when I showed you my mixture, I made it too wet, and this caused me the problem with my sugar cubes. You can see I'm pulling them out, and we're going to get plenty enough here. Now this one's all mess. I'm putting the mess in here, and the reason why is I'm just going to grind this down and make regular sugar. So about 45 cubes. Now, the next one that I was going to show you about are these, and the same thing happened to these. So when I pulled these out, these fell apart on me. Oops, like that. So that's not good. But you just keep on pulling them out. They need to be dried some more. So still, even though they're not as pretty, they'll still work fine, and you don't have to throw any of that sugar away. See, you just simply donate it back to this area. We'll grind it down. We'll put it in the oven if we have to. No, this one was okay. And a lot of people, they use food coloring to make it different. You can use everything as a vegan except for red. Red is made from a beetle, and that's not acceptable. You can use yellow, but a lot of vegans don't use yellow. They have some. It's vegan approved. It's just that there's controversy with the color yellow. So, but you can use it. It is vegan. There are many websites that show you what is vegan and what isn't for food coloring. I decided to keep mine au naturel. Now what I'm doing now is I'm just getting any bit of the sugar out of the mold, because, you know, why waste it once we get that sugar out? and then we take it out in here. We put it into the tray here, and what we'll do is I'll whip this out, and then that's basically what I'm going to be doing. And then I'll dry it on a parchment sheet, and I'll be able to use it later. So was it a success? Well, considering that I got maybe a third of this sheet in sugar cubes, I think it was. And so I think this worked out really nice. Now as for the molds here, a lot less water enabled to use these because of what I can see, it was way too wet, and of the 15 slots that were here, I got maybe 8. The rest were completely unusable. But it's still not a loss, because if I grind this down and I dry it over a sheet, I still have delicious vanilla sugar. I'm hoping that you enjoyed what I showed you, and then you can try to make your own vanilla sugar cubes yourself. And this is what you want. You want sugar cubes in a decorative bowl for your family. Thanks a lot for watching. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Bye-bye now.
If you like what you see, subscribe. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.